Did you know that 70% of high achievers admit to feeling like a fraud, but only the top 1%, and I mean the only 1%, the very tippy top, realize that feeling is actually a sign of a hidden ego? Now today, I want to show you something. I want to show you why you're struggling to hit record. It's actually costing you 3 clients this month. But here's the fix to that. So if you strap in and you sit back and you chill out with me for a few minutes, we gonna walk you through how to get things switched up, how to get things done. See, by the end of today's video, you have 3, maybe more, but we're gonna focus on the 3-step mental framework to bypass imposter syndrome entirely. Plus, I'll be sharing with you one of my most important pre-recording rituals that I've shared with a couple of my friends here lately, which has helped them succeed in their podcast and their business and everything. It's made them like more of the authority figure, even when they feel like total beginners. So if you're ready, let's get it cracking, man. We got to get it cracking. All right. So for those who don't know, this channel is for coaches who are all ready to stop trading time for money and start using their podcast to generate, a constant high ticket lead, but not just one, many. So if you're new to our world, go into the comments right now and write new. If you're returning to the channel, drop back again. And if you are a regular, do me a solid. Hit the subscribe button. For the newcomers, I'm going to earn that subscription by the end of this video. I got to, because right now we are in a time that podcasting is the next big thing. If you pay attention, you can express yourself. You own your content. Just pay attention. You'll see. Just do your research. You'll see. Now, go ahead, smash the like button if you are ready to get out of your own way, because I'm ready to get you out of your own way. So the one thing that we need to talk about is the why. So let's get real. Most of you think you're being modest by staying quiet until you're ready. You tell yourself you just want to be high quality. But here's the hard truth. Modesty in business is often just a mask for the fear of judgment. Some of y'all don't want to be judged. Some of y'all want to just keep doing what you do, talk shit behind the scenes and then roll on. But when you're worried about whether you're expert enough, you aren't thinking about your client. You're thinking about yourself. And you can't put yourself before your clients. You're thinking about your reputation, your image, and your ego. If you wait until you feel like a guru, you'll never start. See, the market doesn't need a guru on the mountaintop. We got plenty of them. We got some fake ones, but we got plenty of them. Your market doesn't have the time for another guru. They need a guide who is just 2 steps ahead of them. So you have to realize and understand this. When you're out here and you're making your coaching business or your podcast or you're creating content, you need to make sure that you're a step or 2 ahead of everyone that you want to follow you. Okay. So speaking of follow, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, like, and hit the bell notification. So every time I drop a new video, which is coming up with a mega series, you'll be the first one to know when it pops. All right. So here's what I want to tell you about a business coach that I work with. And it's one of my homeboys. We decided we was going to start a movement. And my partner, Sam, called me. Sam spent about $10K on a home studio, high-end mics, acoustic foam. He put the works in. He took a room in his crib and he made it into his own personal studio. But he never recorded an episode. And I kept asking him, every week you add, but I ain't heard you drop an episode yet. So I asked him, I said, are you building a studio for people to come through? Or are you building your own personal? And he said, I'm building my own personal. And I said, okay, why haven't you recorded? He said, because he felt like a fake. And I said, why do you feel like a fake? And see, he was obsessed with the image, but terrified that the people will see through him. And I'm like, see through you doing what? You're talking about something that you know. You're giving your expertise. Right now, this is what this world is about. Like, I'm not in the military. I can't speak on military issues, but what I can speak on is what I see. And when I see it, I call BS. And so when we sit there and we talked about it, and I told him that, I said, listen, man, you have to understand that your expertise could help someone else get out of their way. So when we did that, we shifted his focus. I asked him, hey, Sam, who is the one person you could help right now if you stopped caring about your hair and started caring about your bank account? He thought of his lady that he knew, whose business was weeks away from closing. And listen, this is the one thing people don't understand. A lot of businesses are closing because a lot of people don't have direction. When he realized his silence was hurting her more than a messy episode would ever hurt him, he recorded 3 quick shows. I mean, that afternoon, he pulled his mask off and dove in. He didn't even edit them. Like, he just went all in. He just put it out there. And as he put it out there, he signed 2 5K clients that week. Now, I sat back and I told him, I said, you do know that was called the implementation, right? Implementation, excuse me. So how do you actually do this is a question I know a lot of y'all asked. How do you implement things? And I basically told this story once before, and I'm going to tell you again. Here's the 3-step shift that you need to think about. And if you got a piece of paper, write it down. If not, here's what you do. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast or you subscribe to this channel so you can go back and hear this, as you might want to do this, because here's what I did. I've done this. Recently, I started following Dan Martell. And Dan Martell put out a system the other day, and I was like, man, I need to know that system. And so what I did was I just subscribed, went back, and each part, it's a 6-part system. Each part, I went back and I dove into it. And now I'm implementing it more into my business, the business side of the podcast. I said, as we was going along and moving right along with everything, I said, here's step number 1, audit your focus. Next time you sit down to record, ask, am I thinking about how I sound, or am I thinking about how they feel? If the focus is on them, the fear disappears. All right. Number 2, use the reporter frame. If you don't feel like the expert yet, don't try to be. That's the thing. You don't need to be the expert at this particular point when you're starting out. You can become the expert, but right now you're the reporter. Share what you are currently learning. Share what is working for your clients, and also share the data. All right. So you can't be an imposter when you're just reporting the truth. And it has to be the truth. Don't get caught up with the AI situations right now. It has to be the truth. All right. And then apply the service filter. Before you hit upload, say this. If this helps you, or if this helps just one person, this episode is 100% successful. Your download counts are for celebrities, in case you didn't know that. Downloads are for celebrities, man. Results are for coaches. See, a lot of people want to go viral. I always want to stress that. They want to go viral, okay? And that's cool. That gets you seen more. That's not putting money in your pocket. Now, when you start getting results for people, and if people just sit there and follow the framework and come back to you and drop comments and engage, it doesn't take number 10 seconds or 30 seconds to drop a comment without trying to be a butt. And a lot of people out here, they sit behind their computers and they want to talk tough and all of this and all of that. But really, here's what they don't understand. The more you comment, the more it helps. So some of these folk out here appreciate that, man. But here's what you got to remember, man. You want to get the results as a coach. You don't want just the virals. You don't want the clicks. That's the celebrity side. So I want to hear from you right now. What is the biggest frustration when you sit down to record? Is it the technical stuff, or is it that the voice in your head is asking, who do you think you are? Let me know in the comments. I'm going to go through, and give you my personal refrain from your specific niche. Now, if you're tired of the content treadmill and you want to see how this fits into real life, how you can unscramble your business model, comment the word currency and we'll send you our free currency checklist so you can know how to take your podcast or your creation and start monetizing, because that's what we about over here. See, we turn conversations into currency, right? And by us turning conversations into currency, you have to be able to sit back and say, okay, I want to make money, but how do I make money? So we'll send you the conversation currency checklist so you can get through it and understand how you're going to make a little bit more bread. And then this will help you generate 3 to 5 new clients every single month. All right. So do y'all get that? Y'all understand? Now, we've covered today in this video, we have covered why procrastination is killing you. And we've also covered why perfectionism is what we call selfishness, the high cost of your silence, and how to shift it into a radical service after watching content. All right. So you have to understand that this is the time, this is the day that we living in. gotta be able to understand that you don't want to fall into that trap because you're not the expert. You want to be the reporter when you first start out. You understand what I'm saying? You want to be the reporter. So make sure you tune in next week because we're going to pull back the technical side. We're going to break down some tech stacks that you can use, some AI tools that you can use. A total probably under $200 because we budgeting right now. And if you miss it, you're going to keep wasting thousands of dollars on gear. All right. So we don't want you to do that. We want you to sit back and enjoy, because this is a joy of having your own voice, having a recording that you could call your own. Okay. So again, we don't want you wasting no money. Get ready because we're going to talk gear next week. We're going to talk some gear. All right. Now, we do teach this in the Podcasters Academy. It's a free school community. Okay. If you want to join, we're going to put the link in the show notes below so you can join. It's free. Just get in there and learn how to network and learn how to do things podcast wise, so you can become the expert in your field and not always be the reporter. So until then, man, I'm gonna see y'all when I see y'all. My peace.